Hi guys, this will be a little short speech, but I'm Currie and I'm running for the US President. I spent the past year serving as tool rep and I've had a great time doing it, so I wanted to run for a position with more responsibility on council. I know I'm running unopposed, but I am taking this campaign seriously. I've met with Mr. Prompt to discuss the role and responsibilities of SLS President and to ensure that I fully understand my role and responsibilities. So it's the president's duty to act as a liaison between students and faculty and administration. So it is my job to bring the concerns of students to light and then deal with them. So from talking with students in the past few weeks, I've pinpointed some issues I know I want to deal with next year. So first, I know parking will be a huge issue, especially with the new Ivy building moving there and Ivy students parking in Springett instead of Huron, where a lot of them used to park. Blake has actually made some progress in this long fight by finding a USC senator who is helping us with our cause, and I plan to follow up with the senator and do everything that I can to ensure that this parking issue is improved and not ignored. Second, I think it's really important to enhance Western Law's way of finding non-OCI jobs, especially coming off of the lowest number of OCI jobs offered in years. I've spoken to some current members of the career committee and to brainstorm ideas of how we could find more jobs. And as well, I think that the best way to do this is by improving alumni relations. And I've spoken to Blake about this as well. And he has some great ideas and laid some great groundwork in improving these relationships. Seeing as Western grads love Western and would love to help Western students, I think if we open up more communication between current students and alumni, the amount of opportunities would increase. As well, I think a big issue for students next year is understanding and grasping what these articling changes will really mean for our students. And these very new changes will have a great impact on all of us. So I think it's important to update the students as more information comes to light. And I plan to make sure all this information is released to Western Law students, and that will be a huge priority of mine. I think this year's council has done a really good job of making sure the SLS is approachable, and I want to continue this next year. I want the SLS to be available always for student input, and I also think that students should be more aware of what actually happens during SLS meetings. Currently, the SLS minutes are located in a very deep pocket of OWL, which is really hard to locate. So I think if we create an SLS Twitter account or SLS Facebook page, we could update students on things that happen in our meeting, like motions that have been passed or debates that we're having. So I plan to create an SLS Twitter account. Lastly, I think the most important thing is that I have to represent what Western students want as president, and that means always being accessible and approachable for everyone. And so I want everyone to know that they can talk to me anytime, whether it's during office hours, in chambers, at Dennings, on Facebook chat. I just want everyone to know that I'm available for comments and ideas. So remember this week, starting tomorrow, you should vote Currie for SLS President.
Does anyone have questions before we move on?
Yeah, Mr. Silver.
So I know after watching Blake this year, the president is a great candidate. Do you have anything you can sign up for next year as well?
Nope. Anyone?
Nice part of the portfolio is being, as a president, is getting in the office and having a student come in that's very disgruntled. And whether they did get their way with something that, in terms of an event or something academically, and they just want to vent to you. How would you handle a student that just vents and doesn't really have a point, doesn't really have anything that you can do to help them, but they just want someone to talk to?
I'm a pretty good listener.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty understanding person. I could sit there and understand and commiserate a little bit. Yeah, deal with any concerns the students may have.
Great. Great.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, I think we'll do VP Admin or Secretary. So we'll have Jess come up to the podium.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessica and I'm running for VP Administration, formerly Secretary if you're confused by my posters at all. In my extensive campaigning, what I really realized was that everyone just wants to open the SLS Daily and click the link and get where they need to go. I promise you, if you vote for me instead of no one, I will get those emails to you hyperlinked. And I'm sure I'll find something entertaining to put in, different than a fun fact. I'll mix it up a little bit. And that's what I promise to bring to you as VP Administration. Yeah, a little bit. I was on student council in high school, and we all rotated. Sometimes I took the minutes. That's it, then. Okay.
Will you, sometimes people want to post things in the daily that are inappropriate, and what's your guideline going to be for posting?
Well, I think it would depend on what it actually was. If I questioned whether it was inappropriate, maybe I'd discuss it with the other members of the SLS, maybe the faculty, to see if we can find a line to draw for censorship in the SLS daily.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thank you. So next up we'll do VP Finance, formerly Treasurer, and we've got Kim Asnani.
Hey guys, so a lot of you don't know me, I don't think. So I am in 1L. My name is Kim Asnani, and I'm running for VP Finance, formerly Treasurer. So I actually did my undergrad here at Western, and I have an HBA degree from Ivy. So I've spent almost an annoying number of hours working with Excel. Also at Ivy, I was on the student council there. I was the exchange coordinator, which meant that I was responsible for working with the exchange students and the student council and administration to make sure that exchange student money went towards academic and social services that they actually cared about and which actually benefited them. And that's essentially what I want to bring to the VP Finance role next year. I realize that VP Finance is kind of a background position and more behind the scenes on the SLS, but we're all paying these huge amounts of tuition, and a lot of us realistically can't afford these huge amounts of tuition. So I think it's really important to realize where our money is actually going. And if you do choose to elect me over reopening nominations, I'll promise to make the VP Finance role as transparent as administration will allow me to, and I'll work with other SLS members, specifically the year reps, to understand where you guys want your money, where you guys want your SLS money to go. So please get out this week and vote for me, VP Finance.
Any questions? Yes.
Have you spoken with the current VP Finance?
I have spoken with the current VP Finance, and he said that it's usually office hours, about 3 hours a week, but realistically we need to be there for 6, which I'm okay with. We have an hour at lunch break every day, which right now I don't have any other current involvement on the SLS or any really big time commitments I can do, so I would be okay with that. And he also said it's a lot of data entry and kind of following people around to get receipts and things like that. So I'm going to make myself as visible as possible and make sure people know who I am, so they know where to get their receipts and everything. Thanks.
Thank you. Next, we'll do Student Affairs. So, Julian McNabb.
Hi everyone, I'm Julia McNabb, for those of you that don't know me. I'm in 2L here. I'm interested in running for VP of Student Affairs because of the importance of clubs and committees at Western Law. So I have always been, so far, very involved in the Western Law community, and I hope to use this experience to help this role. As VP of Student Affairs, I hope to be approachable and understanding of students' needs. But most importantly, I plan to be very organized and hardworking in order to make sure that things are running smoothly. One of the greatest things about Western Law is the opportunities and enthusiasm for students to be involved, so I hope to continue this trend by promoting the ease at which people can be involved and events can be run. And if there are any questions or comments, I'm very approachable, so don't hesitate to contact me. Any questions? Yes, Hillary?
I know we had a discussion last week. Are you okay with the time commitment that
Yes, I believe since you and I did specifically talk about that this is a great time commitment, the fact that I am prepared for what to expect and prepared for the work that goes into this role, so that I can ensure that I do have enough time next year to handle the commitment.
Any other questions?
So, this year we got a bomb dropped on us not once but twice with the Lions spring semester. The leader of our intramural sports committee didn't do anything before the deadline was supposed to be in. So Hillary and I and other members had to absolutely scramble the nights of a week and stuff like that to get things in on time. How would you sort of prevent against that in future, or what would you do if you were faced with that situation again? Make sure that all the students play their sports, because it's very important.
Right. I think a good example I could follow is what Hillary and I did last week, talking about the commitment that I'm going to face. So, sort of to do that with the relevant people for next year, making sure that they're aware of the commitment they're taking on, so they don't sort of slack off at the last minute. If that kind of situation does occur, though, I think that the exact for next year will be, it seems it's going to be a great group of people who can handle that kind of issues, especially working together, that it seems that you guys did last year too. So I hope that will not present itself. If it does, I think we'll be equipped to deal with it.
Any further questions? Thank you. And lastly, academic affairs. Heather Barnes. Sorry, lastly for now, before the next portion.
So by lastly, you mean not at all?
Second lastly.
Second lastly. Hi. Everyone's so far away. I'm Heather Barnes, and I'm running for VP Academic Affairs. I really enjoyed my time on SLS this year, and I've consistently gone above and beyond pretty well in all areas of SLS to do whatever I could to contribute. I'm not afraid to take on extra work. I actually really like being busy. So after spending my time this year with SLS, I wanted to take on something a little more involved, and VP Academic speaks to me. I think that I'd be a really good representative of the student body. I've got great interpersonal skills, and I think the faculty will be able to communicate with me the way they need to, and I'll be able to share concerns with the students the way that I need to be able to. I realize that I'm also running unopposed, but just know that I take the job very seriously, and I will endeavor to fill the intimidating large shoes of Anthony George, the illustrious Anthony George. He's been a great VP academic, and I feel like with his counseling before he heads out of this role, I'll be able to do as good a job as him. At least I'll try my very best. So I hope that you'll vote for me.
Question.
Any questions? Is that a question? No? No questions. Okay.
Isn't it okay?
Okay. Quickly going to